and welcome to the Brightstar Spark of the Day. And it's all about sharpening your focus. So all of us has 24 minutes in it, 24 minutes, 24 minutes in an hour. I wanted to say 24 hours in a day. But some people seem to be able to do more with the 24 hours and have more time to be balanced and have more time for self-care and more time for other people. So how does that work? I'm going to focus today not on the normal lifestyle focus things that we do. We are going to look at a few habits where we can sharpen our focus. So first of all, the 2-minute rule. So the 2-minute rule states that there are a lot of things we do during the day that only takes 2 minutes. And we know the brain loves to be rewarded. And when it rewards us, it sets dopamine free. And that gives a nice trot in our walk every day. So be aware of the 2-minute things you do every day, because it's as if you are high-fiving yourself. 2 minutes could be making up your bed, putting away the books in the shelf that lay on your desk. So all the little 2-minute things, be aware of those, and that will secrete the dopamine. Sounds so simple, but that's one way to go. The next thing is visualize your day. So we can say so much about visualizing your day and planning and go into that discussion. Whether you do it the previous evening or that morning, take a few seconds, a few minutes, and then visualize your day. Use whatever helps for you to get your to-do list, whether it being an app and whether you're writing it down. The problem that we find is that to identify the to-do list can get enormous task for us. And there are two little hints that I want to give you in that regard. 2 rules. The first rule is eat the frog. So those of you who read a lot about productivity will know about the concept eat the frog. None of us wants to do that, but that means that you start off with a thing that you really do not want to do, the thing that is the hardest to do, the thing that would take the most time, would be of the most value. Because if you start eating the frog, then anything after that would really feel very simple and fall into place. The second rule regarding your to-do list is bold your top priorities, not more than 3. And that sounds so absolutely simple, but I've been involved in a situation where I've been practicing giving 3 goals every morning, 3 goals every morning. The more you get into the habit, the more you practice that, you will come to a point where more easily you will be able to identify your priorities. And why is it necessary? Because then you won't get sidetracked to that extent. Focus on your priorities then. Once you've reached the priorities, of course, then you move on to the simpler tasks on your, I'm so sorry about that, on your list, on your to-do list. So that's the second thing. The third thing is very interesting, and all of us do it to some extent, but the science behind that is that our brain can only take so much stress. And when we put our body for a longer period under stress, then we cannot, our cognitive input decreases. So you will find that you aren't that sharp, you don't do that much, you're not so clear. So apparently 25 minutes, according to some of the newest research done, 25 minutes is what you should do. So you take the timer off your phone, and then you put it down for 25 minutes. And then you really, really, really focus. You do not get sidetracked. You just focus on the task ahead. After 25 minutes, when the bell rings, then you give yourself, then you set your timer again for 5 minutes. And during that 5 minutes, you actually have some downtime. Your brain has some breathing space, and whatever you want to do in those 5 minutes, be it go on social media, be it walking around in the garden, whatever you want to do for the 5 minutes, and then you keep on going for the next 25 minutes. Now, you cannot keep on this routine for the whole day. There needs to be longer resting times, but research that has really shown that when you combine active focusing time with resting times in between, then your brain will be much more alert and your cognitive output will be absolutely greater. So what are we busy doing? We are halfway now with the tips, but what are we doing? We are speaking about habit stacking. Habit stacking is like putting the building blocks one upon the other so that we can, at the end of it all, sharpen our focus to a larger extent and do that more naturally. So the fourth tip that I can give you, the fourth habit, is the thing that sounds so simple, but it is remove all the distractions. So the reason why it takes you longer is because you are distracted. And there are countless distractions. But through the distraction, you waste your time. It takes time to get your focus back onto what you're busy with. What is very important is that we should identify the distractions in our own life because we differ from person to person. Some people like working in a noisy atmosphere. They want to go to a restaurant and work there or coffee shop. And some of us want to have no sounds in the background. Then you can consider having white sounds. Some people get so over-involved with what their neighbor is doing while looking out of the window, then you have to position yourself not to look out of the window as such. So you need to think very clearly, what are those things that are distracting you? I remember when I was busy with my after graduate study, my husband would really be so, with so much care, he'll come in and ask me if I want a cup of tea. But that was a distraction. So we had to make an agreement. Until when I stand up, you cannot ask me whether I want to have a cup of tea. So the biggest thing of all of these is your phone. Phone seems to be enemy number one. Even if you put it on silent, the moment that it lights up, you know about that. So if you are busy with your 20-minute focus, rather take the phone and even put it in the drawer, put it outside in another room. Yes, we can actually live without our phone for 25 minutes. Bringing me to the fifth habit or tip, you can jump tasks. I'm saying it a little bit slower because we seem to be thinking in our heads perhaps that that I'm speaking about multitasking. It's not multitasking. If you're busy with a problem and you get stuck, you jump the task to another one, hopefully one of the bolded priorities you have, because what is happening? Your brain only has so much capacity. So if you are focusing on one problem and you can't get to the answer of that, then your brain will get stimulated if you move to a next one, and then you can move back again. So it's not multitasking, it's just jumping from one problem to another one and refocusing on that. That's actually stimulating. Ending off, the last one I call identify where you are wasting time with negotiating with yourself. So we negotiate about a lot of things with ourselves. Should I go for the walk? I don't feel like it. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I stand? Should I get out of bed now? Should I? Shouldn't I? And if you look how many times, how much time you are actually wasting in negotiating with yourself, that's where Mel Robbins' 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 principle comes in. You decide upon whatever you want to do, and then you actually just do it. So exercising and practicing these habits and do the habit stacking will help you to focus more. And the result would be better work outcome, a quicker work outcome, better relationships, because now you would have time to also integrate the work-life balance and to spend more time generously with others. Thank you.